Check out the brand new How to Become a Better Looking Man course by using the links below. Guys, quickly, just before this video starts, and probably the next one too, I've just listened to it back and there's a slight hum in the background. I apologise if it makes the audio a little bit shit. But I found the problem already. It's just the back of the mic wasn't completely plugged in. So I've already recorded one and it's already solved. So apologies guys, you know, it's annoying because I've recorded some really good audios today. So I'm probably gonna put them out anyway because I can't be bothered to redo them. I think when you try and redo something, it's never as good. But the problem's solved. It's very simple. It's just from moving all the stuff around. I think it slightly came loose, so there's a slight hum in the background, but yeah, it's annoying, but try and listen to the information more than the audio quality. Appreciate it, guys. Okay guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about how all men require kingdoms and castles. I know that sounds weird, but let me explain. So throughout, looks like that seagull was about to come in here. It was like flying straight at the window and then it took off. Throughout history, men have wanted to conquer. You know, Vikings would just jump in a longboat, they'd row across to somewhere, they'd kill every man in sight, they'd rape all the women, they'd say, this is our land now. Do you know what I mean? Men have just got this kind of like desire to want stuff, okay? To just go out there in the world, have personal pride, personal accomplishments and whatnot, and just have land, kingdoms and castles. Like I said, kingdoms and castles is just like the fucking main thing throughout history. You know, every man wanted a palace, he wanted a castle, he wanted land, he wanted authority, respect, power, that sort of stuff. I look at the female situation, okay, to change pace a bit here, and I've had this discussion with a lot of women, okay, and most women agree, they all say the same thing. If a woman doesn't have a baby by 30, she gets weird, and every year closer to that, she gets very, very strange. It's their ultimate purpose, do you know what I mean? It's like an internal ticking clock. If they don't tick that box, you know, things go south quickly. They just don't feel good, they get depressed, something's off in their life, they're trying to find what it is, but truth be told, that's what it is, okay? They just need to find a man, they need to be getting fucked often, they need to be pregnant, do you know what I mean? They just need to have all that shit. Like, they just need certain things in place, it's just a biological desire. Sorry guys, that's my shush. Turn this down. And I think the same thing happens for men, okay? I was talking to my friend about this the other day because obviously I'd got the car and the penthouse and whatnot, and we were having quite a deep discussion about what men want and like how we feel, like, and how I used to feel mentally, and how like a lot of that stress is now gone, and I feel less weird, where I'm not, like every single person I meet, I'm not trying to convince them that I am somebody, I'm a successful, I'm like, I know I am. I've done well, okay? I've got the shit that I wanted. So one of my friends described it the other day as like a confident calmness. He was like, you can tell that you're successful without even having to mention it. He was like, you've just got something about you now. He was like, you're talking slower, like you're not, your ego's gone, you don't really care about a lot of things. And I was like, you're 100% right. And it's very similar to when a woman has a baby and she just relaxes off a little bit. And I think I'm in that situation now, in this, it's because I've got kingdoms and castles. I'm putting things in place that I can be proud of. And this is the main topic that me and my friends spoke about. We spoke about personal pride. And as a man, if you don't have stuff like a car, if you don't have like a house, if you don't have a jacked body, if you don't have some accomplishment, some level of success, a title to go with your name, you know, like manager, doctor, certain things like that, general, you know, that's obviously a big one, but if you don't have titles like that to go with your name, if you don't feel like a someone, you don't have that personal pride, you start feeling like shit. And that's when kind of depression creeps in. That's when, you know, you haven't ticked those kind of biological boxes. You've got to think, I mentioned in a video recently, guys, we're the first generation of men to not be 25 years old with 2-3 kids, married and a mortgage. That's the life of every guy that went before us. You know, by 21, most of them had that. My dad was 21, married with a daughter. It's crazy to me, because when I was 21, I was not prepared for that. I'm 29, I don't want that now. But he had a mortgage, his own business, he was married, and he had a daughter. That's insane, guys. That's absolutely insane when you think about it. Like, how many of you now are in that situation? How many of you now would want to be in that situation? You know, but we are the first generation of men who are feeling mentally what it's like to get to 30 years old and not be married, not have a mortgage, to maybe not have a car, still be cycling around everywhere because life's difficult. And we see it on the news now, inflation's going up as well. Like, life is just so difficult. If you're not willing to put all that work in, if you're not willing to sacrifice everything, you will be left behind. And if you can't fulfill your natural male purpose for kingdoms and castles, the ability to rule, to be respected, and if you're coming home and you've got, worst case scenario, you've got, no female attention, because there's a lot of lonely men out there. But number two, if you're coming home and you've got a wife that you don't really want to be with, or a missus you don't want to be with, and she kind of treats you like shit and abuses you, your natural male purpose has gone out the window. No wonder so many guys are committing suicide and feeling depressed. Like, it's a real issue. Because throughout history, every guy wanted to lead. Every guy wants to be in the successful army. Every guy wants to be in the successful kingdom. He wants to have a title. He wants to be a baron. He wants to be a sheikh. He wants to be... I can't think of any more titles off the top of my head, but do you know what I mean, guys? Everybody wants that. Everybody wants to be a lord. Everybody wants to, this is my land, I own this. Even on a small scale, people just get a mortgage as a man and they're just like, thank God I've got my own property. They get a car and they just feel like, fuck, I've got a level of independence. And that's what it is a lot of the time for men. And that's not me pushing you to say, if you want to feel good, go and get a penthouse and a Range Rover. I waited a long time to get these things, and I worked very, very hard to get them too. But that's the nature of the game now, guys. Like, we're the first generation of men in history to have to show patience. 100 years ago, 200 years ago, I would have grabbed a sword. I would have just marched wherever I wanted to go. I would have took everyone's head clean off and said, I own this fucking place now. I would love to do that. It would have been so much easier. On the back of a horse, fucking riding in, just pummeling people's teeth out. That's easy. That's light work. Do you know what I mean? That's what I was fucking born for. My genetics are like Celtic Viking. That would have been perfect. But I had to mentally struggle as a man for one of the first generations where we couldn't do that, where you couldn't just take what you wanted by force. You had to use your brain. You had to use a calculator and a pencil. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're in a different era now. It's so weird. So you just have to figure out a way to get your kingdom and your castle, how to get your personal pride, how to get, as I often describe to you guys, points on the board. Like, you feel depressed, you feel like shit. Of course you do. You've got no points on the board. You don't have your own car. You don't have your own house. You don't have your, sticks in order. You don't have your body, there yet. You're not jacked. You don't have your frame. You don't feel confident in who you are. Like, I feel very confident in who I am now. I'm exactly who I always wanted to be. I feel like I'm there. I ticked all the boxes, okay? And now it's just getting better year upon year. It's just improving, or, I say year upon year. I've only just made it, but it just feels as though it's just improving week, month upon month, that sort of thing. So, kingdoms and castles, guys. We need them. We have a burning desire inside of us. Women want to have kids. It's their main thing. That's what they're fucking chasing after. We want to build our kingdoms and castles. Having something that's yours, having ownership, taking pride in it, starting a family and being able to provide. That alone will scratch the itch. If you're just providing for, like, I don't encourage marriage, and I only encourage kids once you're financially set. But if you are a guy who's just living quite a normal relative life, you're making $50,000 per year, you've got a wife and 2 kids, but you provide for them and they love you for it, you're going to feel fucking amazing, because that's your kingdom and your castle. That mortgage, that home that you have, you take them on trips in your car, you feel needed, okay? It's a big thing in men to feel purposeful. We're not born with a purpose. Women are born with a purpose. I need to get pregnant, okay? They know they're going to get married at some point, but they need to get pregnant. Once they do, they have a title, it's mother. I've explained all this before. They have a job title, they have a purpose. I'm now a mum. It's my most important thing on the planet. Fair enough. As a man, you're a father, doesn't mean a lot, okay? What does it mean? First thing that comes to everyone's mind, you have to provide, you have to protect, you have to serve, all these things. If we're not scratching that itch, Like I said, if we don't have our own base, and we can say to a woman, come back to my place, spend a weekend at my place. She gets pregnant, you now live with me. You know, they're like boss baller fucking things, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Like your daughter comes back from school, there's a trip, oh, I need to go here, I'll pay for it. There's just little things, like you go and pick up, your girlfriend doesn't drive. You go and pick her up in your car, you bring her home because it's raining, you feel like the man, because you fulfilled a purpose. You know, I'll come get you, babe, it's fine. That as a man is just essential. I knew a guy who was like a father figure to me, taught me everything I knew about like labouring outside, concreting, labouring, digging, you know, it's simple terms, but you guys get what I mean. Otherwise I'd be talking about like underpinning, I'd be talking about all these fucking building terms and whatnot. Taught me how to drive like large trucks and all this shit. One of the most masculine men I ever met. Used to shout and scream at me, tell me I was a lazy cunt, all this stuff. It was essential. It's what I needed when I was growing up. His name was Neville Smith. Somebody's probably watching this who knows him, so I'll say it. He's dead now. But he had a stroke. He lost his son, which was my best friend. He lost him in a car accident. And he had a stroke off the back of that, which I imagine, obviously, you know, the two are connected. Of course they are. The stress obviously led to that. He lost the ability to provide. He lost the ability to work. He lost his kind of strength in one arm. He couldn't walk properly. You know, it just wasn't the same as it used to be. And he got quite depressed. You could tell. He got desperate in trying to find a purpose. Like he would say to me, do you need a lift? Do you need to go here? I'll take you fishing. Like he just wanted to do things for people. He was like, if you need that done, I can do it. I can drive. Like he was trying to find his thing again. Like I'm no longer the man who goes to work and provides for this family. They do stuff for me now. Like they're lifting the boxes that I used to lift because I can't lift them anymore. It's not nice. Like it's a nice feeling as a man when a woman's just like, can you open this jar? Can you reach that on the top shelf? I can't reach it. Like those little things make you go, you fucking remember them for a long, long time. It's like when women say, if you compliment a man once, he'll remember it for like 10 years and he won't forget that woman's face. It's the same shit. We're very, very lonely. And I think a lot more guys should really start thinking about their kingdom and their castle. If that makes sense, it's a metaphor. Do you know what I mean, guys? But it's the message that you should take away from this, because you're probably thinking, that sounds great, Chris. It's all fucking voodoo and whatever, you know, kingdoms and castles. It's a great title for a video, but what can I actually do? What's practical? Well, start worrying about putting this stuff in place early on in your life when you're young. So stop worrying about going out, trying to fuck girls, trying to drink, whatnot, get drunk, you know, enjoy yourself, lads holiday, whatever, because you will reach a point in your life, probably roughly 26, 27, 28 for the first time, and it will hit you. You'll go, I don't have anything. I don't have merit. I don't have accomplishments. I don't have anything to be proud of. I don't know who I am. I don't have an identity. I don't have a purpose. Who am I? What do I do? I can't even provide for a woman. She earns more money than me. And all these things, they fuck with you. They fuck with your head. It's not a problem, guys. Like, you could be 30, unaccomplished, you know, not achieved anything yet. Get back to the drawing board and figure some shit out. It doesn't take that long when you're really about it. But you can prevent a lot of bad shit happening. You can prevent a lot of depression. You can prevent a lot of unhappy years where, like I said, mini male advantages. I always talk about this. I'm in a penthouse with a nice car, with a nice body. I've done all that myself. You know, I've built all that. I now have these mini advantages where if I meet a woman on the street now and I'm just like, hey, come back to my place, I'm so proud of this place. I'm going to feel like the man when she walks in. I'm going to be like, yeah, I built that. What do you do for business? I'm going to show you. I'm very proud of it. Oh, look, my book and my supplements are there. They're framed. I'm a published author and I've got my own supplement companies right there. Do you know what I mean? What's the mic for? I've got stuff that belongs to me. It's my identity. I take my top off. I'm proud to take my top off. I know she's going to be blown away. I'm not arrogant in saying that. That's just normal. I know she's going to be like, wow, that guy's in some serious good shape. I've built that frame and I'm proud of it. I know I can protect. I know I can fight. I've, buried my dads. I've won fights in my life. I've never backed down from anything. Like, I've done all these things and I've ticked those boxes. And I've just got sheer clarity in my mind. I just know who I am and I'm very proud of myself. So I've got my kingdom, I've got my castles. I've not finished yet. I'm gonna grow this to something that people have never seen. I want to be a billionaire. I think I can pull it off. But it just feels good as a man. If you're lost in the world and you're scratching your fucking head and asshole, just going, where am I going with this? Why am I unhappy? It's because you're purposeless. When you're purposeless, you will watch porn, you will masturbate, you will just look at random pictures of women on Instagram, you will, obsess about silly things like I need a girlfriend. Obviously that's like built into us, it's like biological. But once you find a purpose and you start realizing kingdoms and castles, this is what men are driven on. This is what motivates us. Land, assets, accomplishments. I own a business. Just saying things like that out loud, it feels fucking good. Okay? My accountant. Like, guys love saying stuff like that. It gets our dick hard. Do you know what I mean? Like, come and sit on my rooftop terrace balcony. We can sit out, have a glass of wine. It'll be nice. Like, I can light the fire pit. Oh, do you know how to start a fire? Oh, yeah, I do. Like, little skills like that. Like, men fucking love this shit. And you just have stuff that's yours. It's under your belt. It belongs to you. It's your kingdom. It's your castle. It's a trait that comes with you. She doesn't drive. You go and pick her up in your car. It's a nice car. You get it washed and waxed. It looks immaculate. The whole inside is clean. This belongs to me. This is what comes with me. It's a package deal. That is what so many men are missing in this generation. They want to look at it as, you just got to be a handsome Chad with a nice jawline. It goes so much deeper. Like, your personal pride and your personal happiness and what you can achieve in the world and what is drawn to you will likely come from your kingdoms and your castles, okay, guys? And like I said, it's a metaphor. It's for putting points on the board. It's adding shit to your life. It's what it represents as you as a person. You have the title of doctor in front of your name, you're going to feel like a fucking man. Do you know what I mean? You're going to feel good. You're going to have respect from others. That's a big thing. It's a big thing, respect from others. It's like, if you're a 35-year-old man and you were living at home with your parents, you feel a bit shit. There's not much wrong with it. You can figure life out quite quickly, like I said. And if you're doing that to work towards something, then fair enough. I understand the point. I can get that. But you're going to feel like shit yourself because you're going to be like, I don't have my own place. I don't have my own car, whatever. I don't have ability to provide. I don't have the ability to father children. Do you know what I mean? Like guys who are trying to have sex who have got a limp dick. It's the same sort of thing. You just feel like a weak man. You're watching porn all the time. You feel, I can't actually get women, so I'm doing this fake thing. It's all a mental game up here. Like I said, kingdoms and castles. All of us men are conquerors. We have to be. We wouldn't be alive today. Our ancestors fought and won. They conquered. That's why a lot of us are getting so depressed, because this life that we're living is weird. It's weird. We're the first generation of slobs. We're the first generation of lazy people. We're the first generation that ever just sat around for 5 years going, I'm finding myself. I don't know what to do with my life. I'm trying to find my purpose. Which I know I put on the silly voice and face, but that's actually pretty normal. Because like I said, in previous generations, you were a soldier. I'm an archer. I swing a sword pretty well. I'm good with a javelin. Excellent. I'm a blacksmith. Everybody had a fucking title and a purpose. You helped the army. You felt together. There's a sense of togetherness, you know? Everyone had a role. Everyone had a purpose. In this era, we're out in the fucking desert. We're out in the wilderness with this shit. Very few men actually have a purpose and know what to do. You have to start thinking, I've got to build my own kingdom. I have to build my own castle. I have to have some stuff. I have to get my points on the board. I have to start... I tried to build a gym when I was younger. I was going to do it for disabilities in the area. I went for funding. I tried to get a grant. The woman said to me, you've got a lot of potential and a lot of good ideas. You're very creative. She said, and you've got a lot of skills. She said, you lack the well-roundedness. Okay? And she was right. I was 19 at the time. She said, you lack the well-roundedness. You need to go and get your personal training qualification. You need to put some of your own money behind you first. You need to go and do a little bit more research. She was basically saying, sort your shit out first before you try and, you're trying to run before you can walk. It's what a lot of guys are trying to do. Just get those foundations in place, okay? Just get some level of stability. Take care of yourself. Start building your own personal kingdom, your own castle, your own, figure out what you want to conquer. What's your route? What do you want to be known for? What's important to you? What do you want? You've got to start asking these questions as men, because we never have these discussions, okay? And I had this discussion with my friend, and he was like, thank God we spoke about this. Like, I feel so much better now. It's nice to know, which is so important, and I agree with this point massively. It's nice to know that I'm not alone with this. He was like, it's nice to know that we're thinking the same. Because every guy is out there going, oh, I'm a loser, I'm nobody, everybody's killing it but me. And I've almost got to the point where I'm reluctant to talk about my own accomplishments to people that I know, because I'm like, I'm not trying to make people feel bad. That would never be my intention. That's not what I want to do. But at the same time, I'm like, sometimes when I talk about what I do, it rubs off. Everybody I'm around becomes better. You know, again, that's my kingdom. That's my group of people. I'm trying to make everybody better. I'm trying to encourage them. I feel like a father figure to a lot of my social circle. I feel like I say, don't do that, mate. You know, sort your life out. Step up. You know, cruel to be kind, like a dad would. You're being a bit of a cunt. Sort that out. You know, that sort of thing. I like that role. I like that masculine role of looking after people. It's something that I get my little kingdom kink from. You know, I fulfill it by looking after people. I get it big time from women. I love providing for women. I love looking after them, providing them for them. I love being the like big jacked guy when they're like just, they're very submissive, they're very feminine, and you know, you're looking after them, you're protecting them, you're picking them up in your car. I'm bringing them up here. I'm like, I've designed the whole night, it's fine. You just sit back, look pretty and relax. It's just so many little things like that as men that we just like to tick. Now, if you want to do that, like I said, you need to sit down with a pen and paper, or just, you know, sit there with some level of clarity at some point, go to a middle of a field, meditate, and just think, what's my kingdom and castle? What do I want to own? What do I want to be known for? Like, I need some respect. Like, how am I going to achieve that? It's very much figuring out what you want and then figuring out a roadmap and working backwards and saying, how am I going to get to that point? How am I going to get to that step? Here's the thing. I was living like shit, but I was successful. But I didn't have anything. I didn't have this penthouse. I didn't have a car. I had the body and whatnot. I didn't have the clothes, which I'm going to add, you know, later on in the next like month or so. And it was affecting my mental health. So you have to think about this, okay, guys? So I was a successful, in-shape guy, and I was just negative all the time. Since I've moved here, I feel 10 times better. I feel like I've aged 10 years mentally in a good way. And I've just grown up, and I just feel like, okay, this is exactly, I'm finally who I thought I was. You know, and what price would you put on that? What price would you put on that to have mental clarity, to feel strong every single day, to wake up and feel positive and, you know, motivated and be purposeful and just to be confident and have the ability to approach any woman you want, to talk to any guy you want, to walk into any environment, use your body language to just make that place your own? What price would you put on that? Okay, this is why as men, you know, when a woman has a baby, she becomes way more confident. She just changes who she is overnight. As a man, as soon as you start adding shit to your life, and I'm not encouraging you to rush it and do things when you don't have the money to do so, because that would be silly, okay? But I'm just saying, when you start putting those fucking pieces in place, a lot of things come together. You start feeling better about yourself, and it has a knock-on effect. It has a catalyst effect. Okay, this place alone has got me feeling like the man. I drive around in my car, I feel like the boy about town. The shape that I'm in now that summer's here and I've got lean after building all the muscle from the bulk, which was very fucking draining mentally because I didn't want to get puffy again. It's got me feeling amazing. It's got me feeling amazing. My confidence is through the roof. I walk different now. I talk different. My energy's different. I've put my kingdom and my castle in place. It's the smallest version of it, and we're going to expand this kingdom and castle. But it's so important to men, and I think it needs to be discussed more. I think we need to really do this as men, to talk about having a purpose, finding a purpose, understanding what our purpose is, fulfilling our natural male role. We're not just go to work, have a couple kids, whatever. We need some stuff. We need to feel good. We need that big dick energy. That's what I think in this generation we're missing out on. And because there's a delayed effect in this generation, because you can't just pick up a sword, take someone's head off, now I'm on the throne. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't do that anymore, it's fucking with a lot of guys' heads. It's creating a lot of depression. It's fucking with a lot of guys' heads. they're struggling to get their head around this shit. I just want you lot to know it's normal. It's going to take a lot longer than any previous generation. You have to be patient. But never, guys, lose sight of your kingdom and castle. Because if you do, and you live a very feminine existence where you sit back, let the female take the role, the female should be the provider, she should be equal to me, and all that shit, you just won't feel happy. Like I said, that guy who had the stroke, he just felt like shit immediately. He just went downhill. He just didn't feel the same. Mentally, he started to deteriorate. It's just not good, okay? When you're not fulfilling that natural male purpose, when you don't have stuff that belongs to you, and you don't have that sense of personal pride, you start to feel like shit. It's the key to having a happy life. It's the key to avoiding depression. It's the key to attracting everything that you want. Just draw everything to yourself by building almost just like you've just conquered some land and you're just building on it and you're just making it look amazing. Like, build it and they will come. It works in the exact same way, okay, guys? Check out the First Man Men's Lifestyle Supplement by using the links below.